Welcome to TRADEREP. This is Shorthammer. It is the 14th of August, 2019, and we are taking a look at Tesla. Now, since earnings, Tesla has just been falling, and we wondered where it would stop, and it stopped right here in this supply-demand zone. Buyers stepped in, and we see these buyers, they've stepped in and they pushed us back up. We rejected. The buyer stepped in again in the supply-demand zone, pushed us back up. A little bit of selling came in. Buyer stepped in again. Now, what I would be looking for, because I see each one of these little waves is a little bit higher than the previous one. So I need this buying to go above this 240. Yeah, but it says 239, but into the 240s would be nice. So what I would be looking for, it seems as if this supply demand zone is holding roughly, like this area is holding on Tesla. So what we want to see is buyers step in and try to get us to the next supply demand zone. We weren't able to make it on the initial bounce after the sell off after earnings. So we really need a I would say a catalyst, but just the momentum to push up through the 240s into the upper 248s, into the 250 area, and we'll see if that happens. There's quite a little bit of overhead here that we have to deal with Tesla, but I'll be watching for maybe an intraday scalp on Tesla as we wait to see if it manages to make it to the next level. And the thing also that's interesting is I'm saying each one of these is a higher wave, but look at the bounces. It's less of a bounce. There's less momentum on each spring up. We're not going as high. So we'll see if this wave ends up being a lower wave and we end up rolling over through the supply demand zone here, or if the buyers step in and push us above or up into the 240s. Let's look at and this is a 4-hour chart, by the way. Let's look at the 5-minute chart. So if we look at the 5-minute chart from yesterday, we see from the open the buyer stepped in, pushed us through the 200 SMA, and also through the main intraday pivot, which is this yellow dash line here, right around 231.21ish. So we pushed up, we hit this cluster of pivots and pulled back, found support here at the main intraday pivot and also the 200 SMA. Pushed back up a little bit higher this time, and on this pullback we'll see that we kind of found support in this little bit of congestion area from the previous day, and buyers stepped in and took us to the upside. Now today what I'll be watching on Tesla is the main intraday pivot is down here around 232.85. We'll see if we backtest that or if we backtest the weekly pivot here at 233.50. But I'll be watching Tesla for an entry and looking to see what we can do, if we can move higher into the 240s, or if we create some sort of a channel situation that I can find entries on the tops or the bottoms of that channel to get some green. But I'll be watching Tesla to see if we get a little bit of range out of it today. We'll see. But definitely watch this main intraday pivot, the yellow dash line here, 232.85, and the weekly pivot at 233.53 for those to hold. And then you have pivots here at 238. That wouldn't be a bad deal if we pulled back here or here, broke above, and then took it into this 238 area. So I'll be watching for that on Tesla. We'll see. Here we are, 236 is 234. Okay, that might be interesting.